Hello, hi, welcome to my video slash stream. My name is Mitchellmander, and yeah, welcome. So to everybody that's coming across this video, you're coming across this after the stream ends. I do these streams on either Fridays, Saturdays, or Sundays, or whenever I can after the airing of the most recent Pokemon Horizons episode. I chat with people in this live discussion format, and we assign a rating to the episode. We have a good time here, so you should probably sub the channel, like the video, all that good stuff. I do other videos as well and other streams too, so yeah. And also, before I continue on here, something a little different. You probably notice the music is a little bit different in the background. It's because it's actually coming from another channel. It's from Game Chops on their video game or study lounge stream that they have. So a shout out to them. You should check them out, sub to them, and listen to their stuff. And yeah. Anyways, I'm going to give it a couple minutes here and wait for some people to show up, and then we're going to start chatting about the episode. But if you want to go ahead and start chatting in the chat, go right ahead. We have Kaiwan, who said, "What a good character of the month episode." Character of the month episode. I do think Diana's a little bit more important than that, though. Jerome's here. Hi. Great episode. Harlster 3. Yo, I like this episode a lot. Cool. Thank you for joining. What if the butler is Liko's grandpa? I'm not sure if that's the case, mainly because she referred to the butler as an old friend. So it's possibly someone she was acquainted with in the past, but has since aligned himself with the explorers. I will say this, there is a lot of questions I do have for the series, because there is a lot to unpack here. I actually took some notes to try and keep up with a lot of things within this episode. Ex-boyfriend, okay. That would be something. She did say friend, so yeah, there's that. You got 5 people here. What's up, y'all? Maybe they adventured together as a traveling companion of hers or something. Maybe. She didn't really mention that. It seemed like she was kind of going on her adventures solo. At least from what I can tell. I will say that there is quite a lot going on within this episode, so if I miss something, you can let me know in the chat if I miss something. Why is the turtle reacting to the main antagonist? I have a small theory on that, and my theory is that maybe Amethio is like a descendant of someone that was opposing Lucius in the past, and that's why Terrapagos recognizes Amethio, or like because he's from that lineage or whatever. That's kind of just my current thought for that, because it's a little weird that Terrapagos was like reacting the way it was towards Amethio. There's clearly a reason why, but obviously Amethio hasn't done anything. It's the first time he's seen the Pokemon, so that's what I think. Like I said, I actually had to take some notes here because there's a lot going on with the things that were said in this episode and the implication it has for the series moving forward. So yeah. You know, since we have 5 people here, you know, it'd be really cool if you like the video. It helps. It really does. But yeah, enough shilling for now. Because one of Weed Cat doesn't like Diana. At least for right now, Weed Cat doesn't. Because one of my questions is, how did the explorers know about the pendant, and the explorers, as in the boss himself and the butler, seem to know. I already liked it. I wish I could like it again, but I can't. Oh, you're good. See, that raises some questions, because it's now it kind of like makes us wonder what association do the explorers have with Terrapagos. There's obviously something going on here, and considering that Terrapagos reacted to Methio, it tells me that they're all connected in some way, and it's possible in the past that like they were working with Lucius or something like that, or there is something going on here. Like maybe it has to do with the hidden treasure of Area Zero, and that's what they're seeking. It feels like the explorers, what they want is something that's actually harmful to the world. Kind of like one of those organizations from other series. They're there for, either world domination or like they think they're doing the best for humanity, but what they're really doing is destroying everything kind of thing. Who knows? There isn't a whole lot we can go off of right now. There's just some implications here. So we could probably theorize what's going to happen down the road. I already just dropped and secretly an explorer theory the other day. I'm not ready for another theory vid right now. Could Diana be hiding stuff? Possibly. Maybe it's out of protection for Liko. I had to watch the episode a second time, because at first I was like, why did Diana give the pendant to Liko knowing that the explorers were going to pursue her? But watching the episode again, it seems like she gave Liko the pendant, and then the explorers went after her. Now the question is, how did they find out Liko has the pendant? Did they interrogate her? Did they like spy on her or something like that? Like that would be my question, because there's got to be a reason why they were able to deduce that Liko was one with the pendant. I mean, again, maybe Anne's responsible for that. Maybe that's why Anne was sent to the school to figure out or like if Liko, or just find someone that has the pendant and then report it to the explorers. Maybe, maybe not. Just a theory, a game theory. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Oh, what's up, Devin? Liko's grandmother seems like your type. She could be a widow. You don't have to say I understand. An older woman does have such a mature charm. Okay, look, Devin, I'm 61, but, I'm good. She does seem pretty cool, though. Also, I found it interesting the other two admins we see have their Garganacled, excuse me. I don't know why I call it Gargano. Liko makes sense. Not what I expected, but we see the Galele for Sango. Really surprised me. Yeah. At least we get to see that Pokemon, though. It's its debut, if I recall correctly. This is the first time we see it within the series, since it's a Paldean Pokemon. So, I refer to that Pokemon as the Minecraft Pokemon. But yeah, we did have a decent crowd there, but it looks like it's dropped down to 3 people. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and talk about episode 24, Pokemon Horizons. And I'm just going to say as a reminder, if I miss something, you can let me know in the chat. Clawliz, what's up? Hello! Welcome. Welcome to the stream. So, again, if I miss something, be sure to bring it up in the chat and we can discuss it. So for this episode, it's kind of more of like, meeting Liko's grandmother, getting the, information from her regarding the pendant, Terrapagos, all that stuff, and the explorers making their moves. So, this was a very interesting episode. Like I said, there's a lot going on here, so it's kind of hard to keep up with everything, but Liko and the others are on their way to meet, her grandmother. At the old castle, or one of the old castles. We find out that there's a bunch in that area, so they kind of have to figure out which one it is. And I thought it was pretty interesting, because they actually had to go through a secret cave in order to get to it, which threw off Amethio and the others. So that was kind of neat. But that's besides the point. We have the explorers. Amethio, despite disobeying, orders, he got some really good intel for them, and the butler kind of was kind of excusing his actions a little bit, but was still scolding him. He's like, yeah, I'm done. Don't scold me anymore. But the butler literally is actually going in the action because he has to see Terapagos for himself, which I thought was pretty interesting. That means it's pretty significant if this dude's going out. So I'm wondering if this guy is actually really strong. But anyways, the explorers are getting ready, mainly the admins. They were kind of shown off in this episode, but they didn't show up towards the end. Amethio and his game struck later on, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Anyways, we meet up with Liko's grandmother, and it's very interesting. There's a lot to delve into here. I actually had to take some notes because there's quite a lot, and I didn't want to miss anything. So, we know that Liko's grandmother is actually an adventurer. She likes going off on adventures. We find out that the pendant is something that she found in an old suitcase back at her home, like back in the day. Something that's very interesting is that I've seen people point out that Liko's grandmother's house is very reminiscent of Ash's house. So, is this implying that this is many years after the original iteration of the Pokemon anime, or are we just looking into it a little bit? Probably looking into it a little bit, so who knows. But that's how she found the pendant, and also Lucius's notes. So obviously it's a family. It's got to be a family connection. They don't outright say it, but that's kind of my thought going into it. But she sets off on adventures, and she's basically trying to figure out the mystery for the mystery behind the pendant. Sounds like she actually I don't know if she even encountered Terapagos before. She seemed a little surprised seeing it because it wasn't like what she thought it should be. I do find it interesting that she knows of Terapagos, but that she acknowledges that this one is definitely not, its shell's not as big, I guess. So that was interesting. Another thing that's interesting is that when I first watched the episode, I was a little confused. I thought that she gave Liko the pendant after encountering the explorers, but it sounds like she gave Liko the pendant prior to her going to the academy and prior to her grandmother encountering the explorers. Another thing that's really interesting is that Liko's grandmother knows the butler of the explorers, and it seems like they were old friends. But when they meet up later on, things have clearly changed, and she realizes that he's part of a shady organization. So as soon as she realizes that, that's when she sends the Rising Volt Tacklers to help out Liko and protect her from them, protect her and the pendant from them. Because obviously they want with the pendant is I don't know what their plan is exactly, but it's not good. She thought the pendant was a fossil. I think I might have missed that detail. Thanks for bringing that up. I'm trying to think what else. So there's some thoughts I do have for that. We can get into that later on. I believe they mention I believe it's Rakua. So it got mentioned in the previous episode, but apparently it's a paradise that Lucius was seeking. So that is actually intriguing. I don't know if they're going to incorporate that into the DLC somehow, because Indigo Disc comes out in a couple months. And Indigo Disc takes place in Unova, so I have no idea how they're going to tie all this into the games, if they even do tie it into the games. But I'm trying to think, is there anything else? I think that's pretty much all for now. I might have to re-review certain things for this episode, because there's a lot here, and there's a lot to talk about here. A lot more than I was expecting. But that makes this series even more interesting, because you never know. But I kind of got a few ideas of kind of things moving forward. So, anyways, towards the end of the episode, Amethio and the gang strike. And the one thing that's interesting here is that Terapagos is actually like super angry at Amethio. The little guy reacts with hostility towards Amethio, and that's pretty much where the episode ends. So, yeah. I thought this episode was a pretty good... this episode's mainly set up. It is set up for this upcoming battle in next week's episode. It's set up for what's to come with this next arc of the series, which I believe it's the... Because we just ended off the Liko and Roy set off up, like, arc of the series, whatever you want to call it. I forget what the second arc is called. I believe it is called... Because it's Liko and Roy's departure. And then I want to look it up. Give me a second, guys. It is the Sparkling of Terapagos chapter. So, yes. I think that this is just setting up a lot of things to come. It was a pretty good episode in my opinion. I would probably give it maybe a 7, maybe an 8 out of 10. Personally. So I'm excited for next week's episode and to see how these battles go on. But there's a lot of implications about all this stuff. The thing that I find interesting is like how did they find out that Liko had the pendant and was in Kanto at the Indigo Academy? That's what I'm trying to figure out, because like it wasn't really shown how they found out, but they obviously knew that Diana did not have the pendant anymore, so they must have deduced that she gave it away. But how did they learn that Liko had the pendant is what I'm curious about. Yeah. Maybe it's Anne. I mean, I did a whole theory video about that. If you haven't checked it out, you could probably go and check it out and maybe see if there's any more hints there. I was mentioning earlier in the stream, and Terapagos reacting to Amethio the way he did makes me think that like Amethio is like maybe ancestor or something like that, is familiar with Lucius or something, and maybe he was an antagonist or something. There's not a good person. I don't know. It's hard to say, but Amethio has never come across Terapagos again, and the way that Terapagos is reacting towards him, it's clear to me that his ancestor did something, and Terapagos is remembering that or something. Oh, another thing too. Speaking of Terapagos, it seems like all the like flashbacks that we've seen with Lucius, that seems to be coming from Terapagos himself, and it's basically projecting like old memories of Lucius and his adventures and his Pokemon. So that was kind of cool. So yeah, I would probably give this a 8 out of 10, and we can chat about it. I'm going to catch up on the chat because I have been practically ignoring you guys for a little bit. So let me catch up now. Let's see. That buff black dude with the salt Pokemon has an interesting cut, man. Okay, she thought the pendant was a fossil. As soon as I saw Konia whip out the Golduck, I was like, poor girl, don't you remember what happened last time with a significantly less experienced Perdito? Just put it away. Yeah, Golduck is just going to be a jobber. That's what I'm trying to figure out, if this is anime only or what, but it's just the Blueberry Academy that's in Unova. I think we'll be going back to Kitakami again and probably back to Area Zero. Yeah, there's got to be like some type of storyline that kind of connects all this. Unless the anime is doing something that's completely like abstract from the games whatsoever. I feel like there has to be like some connection. Maybe not like Liko and Roy being in the games or anything, but like there's got to be something, because that notebook, I want to say, is in the games, and we have it, I think. So I'd have to go back and re-review stuff though, but yeah. In the Indigo disc, it's set up, but it also introduces multiple characters. Yes, I agree. A very hype episode setup episode. I think Anne is involved. Anne. See, this is why everybody suspects Anne, but like, I got people already disagreeing with me on the theory video I made, so I mean, we'll see. Like, she isn't part of the Explorers, but maybe she has a relative in the Explorers, and she just told them about a friend she made at school and the pendant she has. That is true. That is another possibility, that she could have said something, and that's what tipped them off. Because I can't see her being involved intentionally. See, that's where I'm kind of torn right now. Because, like, she doesn't... Like, from what we could tell, she doesn't appear to be someone that would be, you know, have, like, ulterior motives. But who knows? She could be unintentionally leaking information and not knowing it. Unless the Explorers have hacked Liko's phone. And they're listening into their combos. Which would be kind of weird. Also, since Diana didn't have it, it's likely that there are hold on, I got lost there. It's likely they looked into her background and kept an eye on her family. That is true. It's just, it feels like more of a hunch. To be like, oh, the granddaughter must have it. I mean, they could have been like kind of just seeking them out just to see. Who knows? I'm very curious to see how everything ties up, though. There's clearly something going on here, though. I can't tell which book it is, but what are the chances there's another book in the Indigo Discs that we get, like, a secret one? It's possible. It's hard to say. Maybe we'll get some more information because Terrapagos is coming in Indigo Disc, so that's going to be definitely going to be a plot point there when we get to that part of the DLC. Still, though, I wonder if they're actually going to do something with that northeastern part of Paldea from the games, because there's that whole section that's just like cut off. I almost feel like they could do something there, but I don't know. It just feels kind of weird to have that whole section there and they're not doing anything with it. Kitakami's cool, but like I was kind of hoping for, you know, something more in Paldea, personally. But I'm kind of getting a little off track there. Okay, I'm trying to think, what else can we talk about regarding this? Because I feel like we need some more information. We need some more episodes to kind of, you know, digest this. But I guess what are you guys' thoughts? What do you think? Do you think Amethio's ancestor is like someone that Lucius was familiar with or Terrapagos was familiar with? What's the butler's involvement? He's taken this pretty seriously, because as soon as he found out Terrapagos was like spotted, he like immediately is like, okay, I need to get out there and actually see this for myself because this is crazy, kind of thing. I just have a lot of thoughts about a lot of different things. And I had another thought too. I was just thinking about this the other day. I've noticed that like wherever Rayquaza goes, like it's literally running into its old buddies, and whenever it runs into its old buddies, they seem to be really angry. The giant Bolivia and then the Galarian Moltres were like not like happy whatsoever until Liko and the others calmed them down. So it's obviously wherever Rayquaza is going, it is literally running into its old buddies and it's causing them to like go out of control or something. So I think that Rayquaza it has something to do with that. At least that's my thought. Because they'll be like, oh, Rayquaza, it was spotted over here. Oh, wait, we find another one of Lucius's Pokemon, and it's like going on a rampage, or it's attacking people, or something's going on. So, I feel like there's something going on there as well. Also, another thing, too, is Terapagos is, its shell is basically, like, its shell is big, but, like, it's clearly, like, smaller than it should be, or what Diana was expecting it to be. So I'm wondering what's going on there. If it needs to, like, if it's like a pre-evolution, or if it's like just like a different form. I haven't looked into Terapagos a whole lot. I don't know if the Pokemon website has any details on Terapagos. Maybe I'm a little bit behind on it. I do think Amethio had an ancestor who was an enemy to Lucius. I'm in agreement with that. Yep. You think maybe Rayquaza was a traitor to Lucius or something? I feel like there's something going on with it that's causing it to, like, revolt, I guess. There's something that I guess maybe the series will, like, show us later on. Diana said she gave up around 30 years ago, so I take it it's because she had Luca. Probably. That's why I said Luca's probably around 30-ish. 30 years old. So, yeah. Maybe they are jelly because he is free to leave because doesn't need to carry the Pokeball around him. Maybe. I'm not sure. Hi, Megastone. Hey, everyone. Welcome, Megastone, to the chat. New person. What's up? What you think, bro? What is age Liko's grandmother? I would probably have to reckon she's maybe around 60. It would be my guess. She's not super old. She's still at least able to go out and, explore and stuff, but she's clearly past her prime. So she's maybe like mid to late 50s, early 60s would be my guess. Based on kind of how she was exploring, it kind of showed her from when she was a little girl to where she was like a young adult. So maybe she was like in her 20s or something. It's hard to tell. Little did anyone know Rayquaza was a true villain the whole time. The more you know, I guess. Rayquaza is the one that's causing all of these troubles. And then Liko and Roy bring it back with the power of friendship, and everybody does a happy dance at the end. Yo, what's up, Emerald? Anne. Yeah, what's going on with Anne? Are you hiding something, Anne? You need to come out and tell us whether you're a traitor or not, or else. Also, Spiridito was a little hostile towards Grandma, kind of similar to how she was hostile towards Liko in the beginning. So that's just Spiridito's greeting, I guess. The ancient Pokemon are upset because they feel like they are trapped. It could be. There's something going on here, I feel. There's got to be a reason why they're angry at humanity. Another thing to note is that there was a picture in the notes during the flashback, but we don't see it. Oh. I gotta go back and rewatch that. Good catch there. That is interesting. That's maybe something they don't want us to see yet. Since when does fire want to be stuck inside a landmine? I don't know. Not gonna lie, Diana ain't bad looking for someone in her 60s or late 50s. Yeah, she's also looks like she's pretty physically fit, so she's, probably relatively healthy for her age. That tweet from the leaker, everyone thought that meant something from the image, but they had to clarify it wasn't. I don't know. Anything is possible. If I were the leakers, I would have immediately said something like, "Yeah, by the way, this is not real. This is kind of just our theory." Oh my gosh. Oh, by the way, can you guys hear the music fine? I can either turn it up a little bit or turn it down. Your call. I'm trying to figure out which song this is. Fantasy Grooves. Oh. Is this Final Fantasy? It might be. Okay. So, yeah, there is a lot that we'll probably need a little bit more time to kind of figure it out. I think Onyx is joking around Harlester. It's probably not something to take super seriously. Alright, I'll turn it up a little bit, but if it gets a little loud, let me know. I just don't want to turn it up too loud, then it picks up on my mic. That's what I'm worried about. Oh, hey, Pokemon fans, I think you know this themed. I love the banter. Oh, I gotcha. I'm curious to know what kind of relationship Diana and Luca have. Yeah, me too. I guess we'll have to wait and see them when they reunite. No, just leave it. Oh. Okay, anyways, I guess we'll have to see what else comes out from what we learned in this episode. So, we'll see if Amethio's ancestor is really someone that we need to we need to know about, or I just want to know what the explorer's goal is. Are they someone that is there founder, someone that worked with Lucius or something back in the day? What is their true intentions, I guess? Clearly not something good, but yeah. I don't want it to pick up on my mic, Emerald. That's the main point. Because then you'll hear it double. Anyways, odd that there's no Grandpa in this picture. Yeah, where's Grandpa? Huh. Yeah, really odd, no Grandpa, unless he is an important character too. Yeah. I'm not sure. I feel like if Grandpa was important, he would probably have been mentioned by now. Liko's grandmother has been mentioned since before the series actually started, so that tells me that she's the important one to consider here and not Liko herself. Or Grandpa herself, excuse me. I don't know why I just said that about Liko. Liko's the main character. Yeah. But yeah. 8 out of 7 is currently winning. 1 vote for 10 or 9. And then one person voted 5 or lower. Why? You didn't like the episode? I don't. The boss is someone who was directly acquainted with Lucius because that implies there are thousands of years in age. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to say. I'm not saying that the person that's like there is like literally ancient, but it's someone that probably was like the founder of this organization. I need to look this up. I'm gonna look up the explorers for a second here in Bulbapedia. Not that it's the most reliable source, but at least it's something. I just want to get like a little bit of context here. Okay. They're a mysterious organization that is after Liko's pendant. The Rising Voltacular, sworn enemy and the main antagonistic organization in Pokemon Horizons, the series. Its real goals and motivations are currently unknown. So yeah, nothing that we know. Oh, they do have a little bit more information, I guess, after this episode aired. So it says, at some point in the past, Hamburg, that's what the butler's name is? Hamburg, apparently. Hamburglar. The Hamburglar joined the explorers and approached Diana, an old friend of his, with an offer to join the organization under the pretext of introducing her to someone that could aid her in adventures. And that somebody is Gibeon. However, this was actually an attempt to obtain her pendant, which she refused to hand over. After that, the explorers decided to pursue the pendant until they found out it was in possession of Diana's granddaughter, Liko, at which point they decided to find her in order to take it. Eventually, they were able to find Liko attending the Indigo Academy in the Kanto region. So I'm curious to see how they figured out that Liko had the pendant and went to Kanto. That involves some digging. And possibly some interrogations. Hamburger. It's the Hamburglar Emerald. You know, the Hamburglar from McDonald's. So yeah, interesting. I'm just gonna call the butler dude Hamburglar from now on. Something about that just seems funny to me. I'll read into this a little bit more. If you want to read into this too, I'm gonna put a link in the chat. Here you go. If you want to look up some information on the explorers, there you go. Again, it is a wiki, so take that in mind when reading this. So, I like how Diana lives with a bunch of wild ghost Pokemon, and we see Hamber. We see Hamber has a Dusknoir. It's probably just a coincidence. Yeah, probably. I feel like that suits him for whatever reason. Huh. I do like that. That's another thing I didn't kind of mention as a detail for this episode. I like how it's a bunch of Pokemon that have taken residence in the old castle. It's not her Pokemon, but it's just Pokemon that just hang out there and they can just come and go whenever they please. So that's cool. Oh, can't speak. You witnessed a solar eclipse? That's cool. That's really cool. I take it. I was gonna say where we're at, it's daytime. Well, then again, I guess the solar eclipse happens during the day. I don't know what I'm saying. Oh, here it is. I'm reading it now. Ring of Fire solar eclipse begins path across the Americas Saturday. Is there a way to like track its whereabouts? Alright, now you got me curious about this solar eclipse, so I'm looking into this now. It's a partial solar eclipse, a ring of fire, that's cool. Oh man, I'm not going to be able to see it. Yeah, the path of the solar eclipse is like not anywhere near where I currently live, so. RIP. I think I saw one a couple years back. When I was at work. Anyways, kind of got off track there. It does suit him. He does feel like a threat since the way the admins acted. He seems higher than them, not just in the hierarchy of the explorers, but being stronger than them too. That's what I thought too. He comes off as someone that you don't want to anger. No, you can't see it either, buddy. I mean, I've seen a solar eclipse before, so. Hey, do you guys mind? I gotta use the restroom really quickly. I'll be back in like 3 minutes if it's okay. You guys can hang out, chill to this music, and put some chats in the chat. And I'll come back and read them off, okay? Give me like 3 minutes. 2-3 minutes. Alright guys, I'm back. Okay, let me see, catch up. Dragon Ball Daimao. We'll see. We'll see how it is. It's not necessarily something I was interested in, but we'll see. Could be good. I'm from the Southwest, so yeah, that makes sense, and you probably saw it. You were in the line to see it, so. I see what you mean by GT2, but it's instead of it just being Goku being turned into a kid, it's everybody's a kid. It has potential. I'm just not sure if it's something I'm gonna particularly enjoy. So we'll see. It could be good. I'll check it out and I'll judge it from there. So Diana contacted Liko, but how exactly? Maybe her squawkabilly is what I'm thinking, maybe? I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, we do have we FaceTime and Rotom phones like our thing here, so maybe she used that. Luca had a field trip. Oh, unless that's back in the day. That might be a different story then. I think Roshi as a kid, actually. That's actually scary to think. Yeah, agreed. When Liko returned home, she asked about her mom, and Dad said she was on a field trip. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Luca seems like a very busy woman. I'll have to go and rewatch it just to see Kid Roshi, which is a sentence I never thought I'd say. Yeah, go back and watch that trailer. I mean, I want to say the series is like a year away, but like, yeah. It's something. That's for sure. In episode 12, Lucas shows up and says that contacting Freed would have been risky, so she shows up in person. Why is it risky? Do you think that maybe the explorers have tampered with their devices and they're able to listen in the conversations? Or it beams their location out? Because that seems to imply a few things. Because let's see, they have some gadgets that they use that we know of. They have watches, those watches that change into their uniforms, the tracker. So they probably got some more stuff out there. Oh, well, at least they're... I will say this. At least they're kind of giving us a little bit of time. Because I know when Super was announced back in 2015, they kind of rushed right into it. Like, oh yeah, by the way, Super's coming out. We just dropped the Resurrection of F movie, but here's Dragon Ball Super. It's coming out in like 3 months. And then we all know how that series started. Probably the explorers to track who they've been calling and can locate her and see who she's had contact with. Possibly. I really want to see Luca's side on this whole situation. Me too. I do think we need some background for stuff that happened just before episode 1. But do they have the most important? Really? Wow. Excuse me. The explorers are taking over Porygon's job. The banished one? Look, we don't talk about that episode. It got banned for a reason. And it was all Porygon's fault. Yeah, we don't talk about episode 5 of Super. I got PTSD from when that first aired, so. There's a few other episodes that were just as bad as 5, though. I know there were a couple episodes in the Resurrection of F adaptation that were really bad. That's why I say just watch the movies for, like, most of it. I know it's technically Pikachu's fault, but someone had to take the blame, and Pikachu's the mascot, so rip Porygon. Also, Luca told Freed initially that she was going to get the pendant from Liko, but changed her mind. Thanks to Diana, we sort of know why. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's working out because the pendant is resonating with Liko. I guess I can get rid of my notes now. Oh, yeah. So Team Rocket and Pikachu need to be banished. Okay. Go back in time and tell the producers to banish them both and make Porygon the main character going forward. Sounds like a great idea that totally won't tank the series. I like how Sango likes to stir up beef. Yeah, she's a little sassy. Is Anne really Sango in disguise? I mean, they got fangs, so therefore they're the same person. Bam! Theory confirmed. And Luca also doesn't seem like a particularly strong trainer. Seems more like a researcher type than a strong battler type. True. Her mother seems like she's the stronger of the two. We also know that Spinel and Agate are at the lab. Yeah, they're chilling. They're chilling. She's ice cold, which is probably why she is a Glalie, but still, it could have been a Gen 9 ice type. True. No. It's Sango Kokomi from Genshin Impact Emerald. Get it right. Okay. Anyways, jokes aside, been going on for about an hour here. Is there anything you guys want to discuss further regarding this episode or the next? Do you have any thoughts going into this upcoming new chapter for the series? Like, any thoughts at all? Anything you want to chat about? Just anything. I'm very curious to see where the series goes from here. And how this all ties in. There's clearly stuff, like, not being shown to us right now. Because, yeah, there's clearly a lot of stuff going on that's going to be revealed soon. I'm excited to see what'll come next. Me too. Preview looks awesome. Yeah, it looks like a pretty interesting episode. Action-filled. We'll get to see the other Explorer admins in action, and also the Hamburglar in action. and see how strong he is. Maybe we'll get Liko's grandmother versus them, and then maybe Freed versus I want to say, I hope Freed actually finishes his battle with Amethio this time. I don't know if Liko and Roy are gonna face off against the admins. Are they even strong enough to do anything to them? Because I'm not so sure. I wonder if there will be any similarities with the book, like the ones we haven't seen in the games. Maybe. The picture looks kind of similar. I hope Diana's insurance can pay for the damages about to be caused, because this battle will be intense. With not just Amethio, but 2 admins and the Hamburglar himself in action. Bro, the Hamburglar's gonna be stealing all those hamburgers. She's gonna have no hamburgers anymore. She's gonna have to go to McDonald's from now on for that stuff. But then wait, the Hamburglar will be there to steal all the hamburgers, so rip hamburgers in the Galar region. Rest in peace, hamburgers. You'll have to find something else to do. Maybe get some hot dogs now. If anything will be revealed before we get the next DLC, maybe they're tying it in. We'll see. And I guess Konya and Zur are there too. Yeah, they're there. They exist. They're gonna be there. They're probably gonna job, and they're gonna be like, I gotta get out of here. They're too strong. The Fire Croc and the Weed Cat, they're too strong for me. Wah. My level 1 -1 gold duck. So they gonna be the Pink Panther? Do they? I don't know. There was a joke there, but it just completely escaped me. Yes, they are going to be Pink Panther, allegedly. Freed is going to be a badass next week. Yeah. Let's see how he is. Captain Pikachu's not with them. As we know, Captain Pikachu's just hanging out at the ship, eating food. So there's that. She should have just used her Skarmory, because I'm sorry, but I think it's justified. We can't take her Golduck seriously. Yeah. It's just not a good look, because whenever they do anything, it just doesn't really amount to much. They're kind of just there as roadblocks. So if only they were showcased a little bit better. That's probably, maybe I'll get into maybe I'll make a video someday talking about my thoughts about maybe year 1 of Horizons. Who knows? It's Pikachu versus Snivy. Oh my god. We don't discuss that. Don't give me PTSD again. Anyways, gotta eat breakfast. But okay, Liz, thank you once again for joining. I appreciate it. You're always welcome to join any of these streams and chat with us. Hope you have a great hope your breakfast tastes great and have a great rest of the day. Freed's always a beast, telling you he's so strong. I mean, he is pretty he is pretty good. Amethio did get a little bit of a power up off screen, but Freed can hold himself pretty well. He's got a level 100 Pikachu and a level probably 100 Charizard that terastallizes too. So, except Pikachu had its electric type attacks taken away. Golduck had nothing taken away. That's how bad it is. Yeah. Pikachu probably had some other moves that could have, utilized a little bit better there, but that's a conversation I don't want to get into because you've jumped into a huge rabbit hole. And I would prefer not to go down it. You don't want to discuss a lot of things, it seems. Oh, yeah. Why would I want to go back and discuss stuff like that? It's also not really the most relevant thing to what we're talking about for the stream either. That is worse. Oh. Off-stream training land. Yeah. In a way, it's a little bit better here just because he has been like away from it and time has passed. So when he returns, he's clearly gotten a little bit better, but it's not like... I don't know. He clearly was giving Freed a little bit of trouble. But Freed kind of seemed like he was in control still. So, yeah. I mean, at least Pikachu was nerfed. Golduck wasn't nerfed, which is why I think it's worse. Ugh. Yeah. Because it's fun, interesting. I don't really like to look back on that series in particular. Personally. And that event doesn't help it out either. But enough. Anyways, enough about the monstrosity that is Konia's Golduck and Snivy versus Pikachu. Yeah. Do I need to make a video about the mini L's of Golduck? Just play that one theme from Black and White in the background. As it's just taking L's. That would be funny. Maybe one day. If it gets more. The one that's playing right now in the lo-fi background. Oh, we're talking about completely different series in Dragon Ball, huh? Well, we didn't talk about it for like a super extended period of time. Both, probably. Emerald. Okay, it does seem that we're kind of slowing down here. It seems like we got a couple people left, so we'll probably be bringing this to a close here shortly. So is there anything else you guys want to chat about regarding this episode or anything else? If you have anything, go ahead and say it in the chat. Also, it looks like 8 and 7 is going to win this poll by like a lot. Still, I want to know why someone voted 5 or lower. Very curious as to why you didn't like this episode. I think we need to sit down and have a chat on why. I actually have to dog sit here. So I'm gonna watch something, eat some food, and then be on my way to go do the dog sitting. Yeah. I voted 9 or 10, but I can see why most voted 7 or 8. Yeah. I mean, it's fair. I don't think it's like the best episode, but it's a good one. At least for the story. From a story point of view, I guess. Or the lore point of view. It's setting up a lot of things to come and kind of sheds more light on the story that's going on. Wonder what Liko and Roy's teams will be like in the future. That's going to be interesting. They're very small right now. I'm curious to see if we're going to be getting an evolution here soon. But yeah. How's the doggy? He was fine when I saw him this morning. Liko, Liko and Roy will only have Gen 9 Pokemon, or will they have both old Gen as well as Gen 9? Well, Liko does have a Tenna, so that's a Gen 8 Pokemon. So there's already a little bit of a difference there. Roy, on the other hand, just has Paldean Pokemon at the moment. Okay. Alright, let's see. Because if Liko don't get a Tickaton, I'm gonna be disappointed, but it won't be the end of the world, I guess, or at least a pre-evolution of it. Yeah, we'll have to see. A lot of people have said that they feel like that Tickaton would actually be a good Pokemon for her, which could be. Tenna at the moment doesn't seem like it's a battler, so that could change in the future, though. We'll see. Tenna fits her a lot, yeah. I know. Right, yeah, no problem, Emerald. It's not like I'm using Reggie Drago or anything. Okay, guys, this will be my last call. Is there anything you guys want to chat about? Last call here, before we get going here. Because with Tenna being very docile, it helps Liko grow, but I can imagine like a Tickatink being very chaotic. Yeah, if they'd be foils to one another. I'm not sure about Jeff, honestly. He's been very quiet all week. I think he's just really busy with work right now, Emerald. It's probably going to be a little while before you get him back on here. Which will be good to see how she deals with it and develop together as a trainer in Pokemon. Plus, Brigadito is seemingly easily jealous. There's stuff there too. Yeah. See, that adds an interesting dynamic to it all. I'm excited for the future of Horizons in general. Me too. I'm curious, because there's a lot going on here, and I'm very interested to see what they do with it. I hope to do kart with him on Friday. Yeah, I'll have to see, but I know this upcoming Friday is Wonders out, so. Yeah, Mario Wonder's out next Friday, so probably not that one. Maybe the next week after. I can like figure something out with him. Yeah, we'll do something about that. Anyways, guys, I think we're gonna bring this stream to a close. Unless someone else objects. But most of the people have voted 8 or 7 out of 10. So I would probably say that this episode is probably like in that range. Maybe I'd personally give it like a 7, maybe a 7.5. Sound good, guys? Seems pretty fair for this episode. So what's the plan? You getting both? Both what? Sure, no problem. I gave it an 8.5. Gotcha. Which is why I rounded it up to a 9. I see. Gotcha. I object. But yeah, I do have to get going here, guys, so I can eat lunch, watch something really quickly, and then go do some dog sitting for a bit. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end the poll here. Oh, Sonic and Mario game. I might actually get Sonic Superstars because it sounds like it's actually pretty good. And it's 4-player. You go get that lunch. Oh, yes, I will. You go eat. It's important. After all, yes, sir. Alright, see ya, Emerald. Alrighty, everyone. We're going to bring this to a close. I give this episode, personally, a 7 out of 10. Or 7.5 out of 10, excuse me. Pretty good episode. Very interesting stuff going on in it. And I'm very curious to see where this all goes from here. So, yeah. Again, everyone, it was a fun stream. Thank you once again for joining. We'll do this again probably next week. Next Saturday, probably. We got 2 new games coming out next week, and yeah, should be fun. Alrighty, everyone, have a good day or night wherever you're at, and I will see you all later. Bye. Bye.